transition, Melissa. You're up next.
Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Melissa. I just moved to Denmark and I've been keeping some video vlogs documenting what's going on here. And so far, most of my videos have just had footage. But this one, when I was going through the footage, I realized there wasn't quite enough for it to make a ton of sense without some sort of background. So I figured I'd pop in kind of throughout the video and give more context. If you see me looking over here, it's because I have some notes. So the last video left off with driving from Seattle to California. And then the footage that I've got starting off on this video is of Max and I at a car wash. And we were there because right when we arrived to California, I think 2 days later, it was time to sell the car. We sold it to Carvana, which I hear now is going maybe out of business or is struggling, so I think we got in right at the right time. I thought Carvana was going to do like a very thorough inspection, and I spent the morning vacuuming out and dusting everything, and then they show up, take a couple pictures, literally like less than 3 minutes. No real inspection, just sign here, sign here. It all happened so quick I didn't even have footage of them driving away. All I have is one little picture of him way at the end of the driveway with another car in front, but I'll insert that here. After selling the car, we headed to Utah and spent some time with my dad. It was a great time. Very nice to just have a real vacation and break after going through packing everything up and kind of making the move. Got back to California after Utah came the hard part of figuring out, could we actually fit everything that we wanted to bring to Denmark into the boxes. We had decided to opt for packing in boxes versus luggage or like traditional suitcases, because when I weighed my suitcase it was like 14 pounds, whereas when I weighed the box, which was like the largest U-Haul size box, like standard size large, which is exactly the maximum checked bag size, it turns out that only weighed 5 pounds. So decided to go for that, but we knew we were going to be moving into an apartment way at the top of the building, and we were worried about how are we going to carry these 50-pound boxes. So we actually ordered a handle. You want to walk me through what this is?
This is a box handle.
Can you give me a demo?
And it's not on the ground anymore.
Nice. Going up 3 floors. Crushed it. The day we were traveling was Max's birthday, so we celebrated his birthday, I think the day before we left, maybe.
Happy birthday, dear Max. Happy birthday to you.
Wow.
And many more.
2 candles and 9 candles.
Are you 18?
Yeah, I'm at least 18.
Yeah.
Oh, Seville's in the background.
Should we start over? Oh,
No,
we'll just edit it out. Okay.
Okay. It's the night before we go. What are your thoughts?
I'm not thinking about it.
Nice.
Just to keep things simple. I think tomorrow's gonna be a big day. A very large day. I'm a little sleepy day. I'm a little grumpy that I'm gonna miss like 4 hours of my birthday.
I think it's the nighttime that you're missing though.
It's all gonna be the same to me tomorrow, I think. I don't think it's gonna be like, oh, daytime, nighttime. It's gonna be like, what color is it outside of the plane? I don't know. I'm happy that we have a handle for the boxes because...
Do you think our boxes are gonna be under 50 pounds? Or is your parents' scale just out?
I hope so.
I think we should pack the packing tape with us in case we need to like take stuff out and reseal it.
It's so heavy though.
We'll see.
It's gonna be sad. Sad to leave.
Yeah. Girls.
Oh, my dad's looking at us.
Now getting to the actual travel day, we arrived at the airport, I think like almost 3 hours early, and things were seeming pretty smooth. We unloaded the boxes. Max's dad helped us find 2 free carts to put our stuff on, and pushed it in, and then there was this really long line that just was not moving. So we were kind of looking at our watches going, oh no. But we did get our stuff checked eventually, but with what felt like not that much time. But luckily the boxes were all very close to the weight limit. I think the lightest one was 3 pounds under and the heaviest one was like half a pound under, but everything seemed to go fine. And then we were going through security when both my backpacks that I had and one of Max's bags got flagged down, and they were going through my stuff and they pulled out this like face mask powder, and the TSA agent swabbed it and it like set off some alarm. And I had been watching all these like border agent YouTube videos recently where it's like if they detect any drugs they immediately arrest you, and I was like, oh no, like I just bought this on Amazon. And it turns out it tested positive for explosives, and the guy, as soon as it tested positive, the whole vibe switched a lot where he was like, miss, you need to stand over there, and like acting very serious. And they called the like the explosive bomb squad team, and then when those people showed up, they had much more experience with this, where they're like, oh, we've seen this product before, it's not actually explosive, but we have to run some tests. And at this point we were like, I was definitely worried about how late we were running, but they were quite efficient, ended up letting me have it back, and yeah, we were on our way and got on the flight. We then flew into Frankfurt next, and in Frankfurt we passed through immigration, but we didn't have to pass through customs, which was really nice because it meant we didn't have to pick up our big boxes, drag them through, and then put them back on a conveyor belt. We only had to deal with boxes once, which was when we were actually in Denmark. The guy at customs, he asked for our paperwork, or first he was like, you're here on holiday? And when we said no, we're moving here, then we started giving him all the paperwork. He looked through it and he's like, but do you have a residence card? But we didn't, so he's like, okay, I'll just give you a tourist visa. And that seems fine. I think that was just to enter, because now we do have a residence card. And yeah, what was funny is he looked at my passport, but then didn't ever even end up looking at Max's passport. And yeah, then we flew into Copenhagen, and then there was a bit of a snafu at the Copenhagen airport where we had to pick up the key to our temporary apartment, but the map that shows where to pick up the key, it was going to be at a like lockbox inside of a 7-Eleven, and there's a 7-Eleven outside security and then one that's past security, and the map that showed where to pick up the key showed the one past security, but that was actually through a different immigration portal. So we had already like entered into the EU, and then if we had been a little bit less sleepy, I think, as Max pointed out, we would have realized, oh, whoever dropped off the key definitely did not like go through immigration to leave the key, but I wasn't thinking that through. So I had to like sweet talk my way in past immigration, where I was like, I don't have a ticket, I actually already cleared customs or cleared immigration, but can I go back to look for this key? The guy called up 7-Eleven and he's like, okay, go, you can go. It turns out, of course, that wasn't the right 7-Eleven. So then went back out through immigration, had to explain, like, when they asked, like, why are you arriving here? I'd be like, oh, we didn't really arrive, I just left 7-Eleven. We found the correct 7-Eleven, got the key, managed to find a big taxi, like a van size one that we could fit all of our boxes in. And then, yeah, from there, traveled to our temporary housing and arrived very sleepy, but safe and sound. Here's all the boxes in our living room. We got them dragged 4 stories up, even though we're technically on the 3rd floor because they zero index here. Out here is the park. There's Max. We're gonna get some food. Happy birthday! So that's about it. I will, now that we're here in Copenhagen, try to post more videos with footage that I'm collecting. But thanks so much for following along thus far.